Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's start with our next lecture, that is lecture number 13 for web technologies and programming. In this lecture, we will discuss different CSS properties. Before proceeding to the content of today's lecture, let's overview the summary of the previous lecture. What we have studied in the previous lecture. First of all, we have studied the CSS basics in the previous lecture. What is CSS? CSS is basically abbreviation of cascading style sheets, and CSS is basically meant to give visual representation of web form elements in a good way at the web page. So with the help of CSS, you can lay out your web page in a better design. There are different versions of CSS. The first version of CSS was launched in 1996, and that version does not support tables. The second version of CSS was launched in 1998, and that version is again an enhancement in CSS 1. And in 1999, the third version of CSS 3 was initially drafted, and the complete version of CSS 3 was launched in year 2012. And CSS 3 is compatible with CSS 1 as well as with CSS 2. And for CSS 3, there are two major modules. The one module is meant to integrate all the tags of CSS 1 and 2, but still there are few tags that are not supported in the older module of CSS 3. The second module of CSS 3 is the module which contains all the latest tags. Why we are going to use CSS? What are its advantages? We have discussed in the previous lecture that CSS helps in separation of concerns from the web page and styling. CSS also helps to control and manage styling in a convenient way. CSS also saves the time because of easy controlling and management. With the help of CSS, the cost is also reduced, and we can design the web pages in a more better way. The look and feel of website can be increased with CSS. Rich set of styling is provided in CSS that can be applied on web form elements, and CSS is also one of the latest technology to be integrated with JavaScript for creating different animations as well. The key disadvantage of CSS is that CSS is not supported by all the latest browsers, and for this we have seen that a survey was conducted whose conclusion is that 85% of the web users are, when requesting web pages, can see the output of those pages which are using CSS, while 15% of users cannot view the CSS designed based web pages. Why? Because the browsers are not supporting the CSS elements and attributes. Then we have seen different categories of CSS. We have seen the inline CSS. It is the most basic form of CSS. It is used when we want to implement styling for limited number of web form elements, and it is used within the same web form element code. It is beneficial when we are going to use for limited number of web form elements, but inline CSS is not suitable when we want to use for multiple web elements or for entire website. The major disadvantage of inline CSS is that it clutters, it messes up all the code and all the styling. The next CSS that we have discussed is internal style sheets. Internal CSS is used when we want to have same styling for specific number of web form elements on a page. Internal CSS is written in the header tag, and internal CSS provides limited number of properties and attributes. And internal style sheets is suitable when you want to apply CSS for a particular page web form element. Then we have overviewed and discussed in detail external style sheets. This is one of the latest form of CSS, and this is the most suitable form of CSS when you want to apply styling on entire website or web-based application. External style sheet is basically a separate file that is created with extension of .css. External style sheet is basically created usually in the same folder where your web page document is presented. External CSS supports most of the attributes and style properties, and external CSS is easy to manage, easy to control, and easy to modify. By one change in external CSS, you can apply the same change on all the website, and external CSS is most suitable whenever you want to have a consistency in your styling for whole web application or website. Then we have discussed that external style sheet can also be used with link and can also be used as command. And then we have seen different CSS rules. We have seen CSS precedence rules. When an application has multiple CSS, so what is the rule of execution for different CSS? First of all, CSS is used by a web browser. All the web browser attributes will be executed. Then external style sheets will be executed. After external style sheets, internal style sheets will be executed, and in the end inline CSS will be executed. Then IDs and classes. What are the IDs and classes? For example, if there are multiple paragraphs on your web page and you want to give different styling to each paragraph, in order to differentiate between paragraphs, you assign an ID to each paragraph through which that paragraph can be accessed, and using that ID you will apply the styling accordingly. And the IDs are suitable when you want to apply it for different number of paragraphs and with different styling. But if you want to apply different styling for paragraph, then the best way is to use classes, and with the help of classes you can apply more variation of styling easily. So this is all about we have discussed in our previous lecture. Let's overview what we are going to discuss in today's lecture. In today's lecture, we will cover different font properties. What are different font properties that are supported in CSS? Then we will see how to control text with CSS. We will see different text properties for CSS. Then we will see different sort of links and their properties. And then we will see the background properties for CSS. And in the end, we will see how to style for tables. Let's see the CSS properties. CSS works by allowing the user to associate different rules with their web form elements that appear or render on the web page. And these rules and these principles basically control how the content of those elements should be displayed or rendered on the web page. So basically CSS की properties ही असल में वो particular control mechanism है जिसके ज़रिए आप इस बात का अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि वेब फॉर्म एलिमेंट्स को हमने वेब पेज पे कैसे डिस्प्ले करना है. Normally a rule consists of a selector and a declaration. This is the basic composition of a CSS rule for a property. A selector is basically an element or group of elements for which the declaration needs to be applied. So जिस एलिमेंट या जिन मल्टीपल एलिमेंट्स पे आपने प्रॉपर्टी अप्लाई करनी है, फॉर दैट यू विल से अ सिलेक्टर. डिक्लेरेशन, हाउ द एलिमेंट्स आर रेफर्ड टू इन द सिलेक्टर should be styled. It is also to be considered. So declaration means कि आपके जो एलिमेंट्स हैं उनको स्टाइल कैसे करना है. आइदर उनका कोई फॉन्ट साइज चेंज करना है, आइदर कोई कलर देना है, आइदर उनको कोई बैकग्राउंड इमेज प्रोवाइड करना है. सो दीज कैन बी डन विथ टू सब थिंग्स. व्हाट आर देन? प्रॉपर्टी एंड वैल्यू. प्रॉपर्टी मीन कि आपने कौन सी प्रॉपर्टी सिलेक्ट करनी है उस पर्टिकुलर वेब फॉर्म एलिमेंट के लिए जो कोई सिलेक्टर था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने उसकी फॉन्ट साइज की प्रॉपर्टी सिलेक्ट करनी है. एंड देन द वैल्यू, और उस प्रॉपर्टी की आपने क्या वैल्यू साइन करनी है जिसके पे अगेंस्ट वो वेब फॉर्म पे अपीयर होगा. सो हियर यू कैन सी एन एग्जांपल h1. h1 is a web form element and it is basically a selector according to a rule, and then a property, और बेसिकली कौन सी प्रॉपर्टी है? कलर प्रॉपर्टी है. एंड कलर की देन वैल्यू कॉलन के साथ कौन सी वैल्यू दी गई? ब्लू. और ये जो आपकी कलर की प्रॉपर्टी एंड वैल्यू है इसको हम डिक्लेरेशन कहते हैं. सो सिलेक्टर एंड डिक्लेरेशन इज कंबाइनली डिफाइनिंग अ रूल. To control the presentation of an element, you need to know which properties are to be assigned for which particular web form element. हर web form element की कुछ defined number of properties हैं और उन्हीं प्रॉपर्टीज को हम उस स्पेसिफिक वेब फॉर्म एलिमेंट के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हमें किसी टेक्स्ट के ऊपर कुछ अप्लाई करने हैं एट्रीब्यूट्स, तो उसकी स्पेसिफिक डिक्लेरेशंस हैं। सिमिलरली इमेजेस की कुछ अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज और उनकी वैल्यूज हैं, टेबल की कुछ अपनी डिक्लेरेशंस हैं। सो वी नीड टू नो कि हम किस केस डिक्लेरेशन को किस केस वेब फॉर्म एलिमेंट के अगेंस्ट अप्लाई कर सकते हैं। Hence, for properties and their respective functionalities are need to be grouped together so that we can know and we can control the respective properties for the text, images and similarly for tables as well. The first one is font property. Whenever a text is displayed in a web browser, it appears in its default size with a default style and default color. Normally, all the web browsers usually has default font style of Times New Roman, and this font style is basically the font face in web terminologies, and the font size is of approximately 12 point size and displayed in black color. So the default font style for web text is Times New Roman and default font size is 12 pixels and default color for the text is black. By using the CSS settings, you can change these default settings in order to make a clear, more visible and better look of your text on the web browser as per your requirement. Several properties allows you to control the appearance of text in your documents. So text को different properties के जरिए आप control कर सकते हैं. These properties directly affect the font and the font declarations accordingly. So, what are the common font properties? The common font properties are font family. Font family के अंदर हम लोग font की family detail देखेंगे. Then font sizes के बारे में, font size is the second common font property. Then font का weight है, इसकी boldness है. Then font का style, different styles हमारे पास listed है. And font की variation, font का capital या small. Font family. Font family is basically a generic description for a range of font types. All fonts having similar design and it is supported by CSS capable browsers. Font family property is basically required to specify the required font and to change the default font style, that is Times New Roman. 5 generic font families that are usually supported by CSS are: the first one is serif font. Serif font is Times New Roman. So the font style lies in specified font family, and Times New Roman exist and Times exist in serif font family category. The second is sans serif. Sans serif basically includes majorly Arial or Helvetica font family. Then cursive, Zep genre includes in cursive. Similarly, Western includes in fantasy and Courier includes in monospace. The most famous font family categories are serif and sans serif. The major difference between serif and sans serif is basically of edges. The edges of the alphabet are straight in one and they are done in other. So this shows the formal or informal way of writing particular content. A computer may provide some additional font families that are additional addition to the generic font families. So you can also customize your specific font family as per requirement. You cannot assume these additional font families will be available. So if you want to specify a generic font, then you can use it, and if it of the specific font family, it might not be available depending upon the computer and web supported technology. So there are some special font faces which are commonly used in Windows based personal computer. These are Arial, Arial Narrow, Comic Sans MS, Courier New, Georgia, Impact, Thoma, Times New Roman, and Verdana. So these are the common font faces that are available on a Windows based personal computer. For example, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 and H6. These are headings on the web page. The font family is Arial Helvetica and with existing sans serif font family. So as with the font tag proceed most likely to the most likely font family. Similarly for the font face. Font face is an attribute in font family. Now the second category of font size is font size for font properties. The font size property is used to change the browser default size, that is from 12 point size. You can use pixel to set letter heights for special styling. You can increase or decrease the font size as per your need. So normally you can change in two perspective. The one perspective is you can change in pixels. You specify in specific numeric value, and according to that numeric value the pixel value for the font size will be settled. The second way is to mention the absolute size, map the absolute size to small, medium, large or extra large, and then the font will be detected as per absolute size. So there are two ways to specify. Either mention the absolute size. Usually absolute size is nowadays presented in mobile phones. In mobile phones, the applications or mobile phones, the default setting for the font size is given in terms of small, medium, large or extra large in latest mobiles. And the other way is to present relative way, in which using the keyword you will describe it, and the percentage as per accordingly for the font size will be applied. Font size absolute font. The absolute font is basically in millimeters, and it can be in inches, and it can be in points, where 72 points are equal to per inch. So you can use point, and it can be in pixel, where 6 pixels are equal to per inch as per PC. So pixel abbreviation is PX. So smallest display element on the computer monitor is pixel. So 6 pixel is basically pixel is basically per inch. You can also specify in decimal units. For example, h1 web form element, and then the font property font size, and its value is 0.5 inch. So you can mention it specifically that you want to print it in inch, millimeter, points, picasa or pixel. So this is the way of writing absolute font. The second font is relative font. You have to specify according to the relationship of the character for the relative font, and standard characters appear in either EM and EX. EM units equals to width of the capital letter, that is M in the default font, and EX unit equals to the height of the lower case, that is X in the default font. So in capital letter the width is given M, means EM unit, and in small letter the height is given with X, that is EX unit, and these are two standard characters. So what is the key advantage of relative unit? Relative units allows you to customize the font, to scalable the fonts accordingly. By using the relative unit, you can add more fonts in your font family, and monitors display and LCD displays and mobile displays vary accordingly. And by using the scalable fonts, you can monitor, you can control the font family resolution for your device. So it specifies the relative unit, and that particular unit ensures a uniform display experience for different types of user output devices, for like monitors, LCD, to render the web page for relative web form elements. How to scale a font? See, a body is mentioned, font size is scaled to 150%. So the font size is increased for view. As well as you can use descriptive keywords for scalable fonts like XX small or XX large. So you have mentioned the boldness, the font size is XS large, so you are increasing its view as well, where it is already mapped to relevant percentage. The next is font style. Font style basically specifies the appearance of a font. Browser defaultly present the font in normal style, means it is not for boldness, italic or underline and so many else. So what is the syntax for the font style? Font style colon and then write the style type. The style types are commonly normal, italic or oblique. It is similar to italic with edges. Now what is the example of font style? If you do consider P and then font style and then colon and then the value of the property font style is written, that is italic. The next attribute for font properties is font weight. Font weight basically mentions about the degree of boldness of the particular type of the font. कितना बोल्ड करना चाह रहे हैं आप, कितने पॉइंट्स तक आप उसको बोल्ड करना चाह रहे हैं, that is basically font weight. And it specifies that font को आपने बोल्ड करना है या font को आपने नॉर्मल रखना है. And normally ये जो बोल्डनेस है ये आपकी 100 to 900 के दरमियान वेरी करती है, और आपका इंटरवल जो है वो 100 का ही होता है, मीन्स 100 then 200 then 300 400 and accordingly till 900. So the most lightest font weight is 100 and the most heaviest font weight is 900. So let's see with an example how to utilize font weight. Then we have mentioned the web form element paragraph and then property, and then the value of the property for the font weight is 300 given. Next, font variant. Font variant basically specifies whether the font should be normal or the font should be in small caps. Small caps is basically a version of uppercase. So the attribute for the font variants are normal or small caps. So see the example of small caps. Uppercases but reduces font size and specify the normal, return the text to be displayed on screen accordingly. See the example of font variant. H1 is a web form element and we have mentioned form variant and then colon and then small caps means the heading 1 will be appeared on the web page document in small alphabets. Font property. So font property basically pools a text of text and font attributes, and attribute values are prepositional, mean assigned accordingly for the particular font style, and it specifies first and then font variant is specified later and then font weight is specified in the end. So basically there is a pool of font properties for the text and there is a specific way format to write them. The first one need to written is font style, the second is to be written is font variant, the third that is to be written is font weight accordingly. So see the example. H2 is in heading, the font property is used and first it is written italic, that is basically font style, and then font variant small caps is written and then bold, that is font weight is written. So instead of using heading 2, that is font style italic, font variant small caps and font weight bold, what we have done, we have taken the common values of font as a property once and then the mentioned its style, its variant and weight accordingly as per defined sequence for the format. Now see the example of font properties. We have created a text file where we are going to mention our CSS, and this will be external CSS. H1 heading is given, the heading started, font family, colon Arial and semicolon close, so that go on for the next property. Then font weight is bolder, then font size is of 25 pixel, and then font style is italic, and then font variant is small capital. So end of CSS rule is applied and these are our font properties and these are basically declaration for H1, that is selector. So now see the example of font properties accordingly. This is our HTML file in which we want to use that particular font properties. So we have taken a HTML start tag, head tag and then title tag, that is text properties, and now we are using external CSS with link and we are giving the reference as is it existing in the same folder? So we are only mentioning the file name mystyle.css with extension. The type is text or CSS and relation type is style sheet. So it will include the style sheet for particular mystyle.css where h1 styling is described, head is closed, body start, h1 is applied. So for h1 COMSTAS Institute of Information Technology, using h1 tag, the styling will be applied accordingly. Then body tag is closed and HTML tag is closed. Now see what will be the output of this. It is written COMSTAS Institute of IT with relevant boldness, font style, font variation accordingly. Now the text properties. Font settings can be paired with other style sheets properties to apply some additional formatting to strings of text. The following text properties are commonly or usually paired with font setting to bring more variety for the text to be displayed. कौन कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज हैं? ये वो प्रॉपर्टीज हैं जो हम टेक्स्ट के साथ एडिशनली ऐड करेंगे in order to continue for our some more better look and feel for the text. So let's see one by one. Word spacing, the spacing created between the words. Letter spacing, the spacing created between the letters. And line height of particular word or letters in line. And then the alignment of the text. And then vertical alignment. And then the movement of the text from particular position. And then text decoration. And then text transformation is position. Let's see the text properties one by one. Word, letter and line spacing specify amount of white spaces to be left between words or letters or lines accordingly. So what is the syntax? For word spacing, you write word dash spacing and you mention the size, so much size is applied to all the words. Letter spacing, if you want to create spacing between the letters, you will write letter dash spacing and write the size, and that size will be accordingly applied for the letters. Line height, the size will be given and line height size is applied accordingly. So simply you write word spacing or you write letter spacing or you write line spacing, and then by adding the colon and then write the size of that particular spacing of word or letter or line accordingly. So size can be also expressed as normal or for a specific unit. So by this the browser determines the specific spacing for words or letters or lines. So now see the text properties for the letter spacing. If you do consider over here, in letter spacing 1 EM is given. EM is basically the width of capital letter and 1 is that much spacing for the letter. So it will render like LETTER, and for every letter, like after L alphabet there is a 1 spacing, then E, then 1 line letter spacing, then T, then 1 letter spacing, and so on till R. Now consider word spacing. For word spacing 2 EM is given, that is width of capital letters. So it will render just like this. First word is this and then a spacing, that is 2. Word spacing is added, is a word, then spaces, and then again spaces for word and example is given. Now line height too is given. It indicates basically the line height is twice than the font size height. So default line height is 1.2. So the more you are adding the line height, the more spacing will be added to one line and then spacing to the other line. So between the lines, the spacing can be controlled using the line height. Text properties. There are some other most common text properties which are color, text alignment, vertical alignment of the text, text decoration, text transformation, and similarly for word spacing and letter spacing. Let's consider these text properties one by one accordingly. Color. Color is the most common text properties. It basically specifies the color of the text. What color you want to use, you can mention with the help of color property. And this color property is currently with respect to the text. So see, paragraph, it is a web form element, and paragraph is basically a text web form element. Then color property is applied. Color is basically property name, and green is particular the value of the color that is mentioned. You can also use the hash codes for the colors. Then text align, horizontal alignment of the text, and this is basically text align. आप टेक्स्ट को हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सिस पे आप किस तरह टेक्स्ट को अलाइन करना चाह रहे हैं. यू वांट टू अलाइन लेफ्ट, और यू वांट टू अलाइन राइट, और you want to align center, or you want to justify the text. For this you need to consider text align property. Then another property, that is vertical alignment of the text, and vertical alignment of the text can be done with subscript, superscript, top, or in the middle, or in the bottom. So the V align means vertical alignment of the text, where subscript means you want to add some value to the bottom of particular alphabet or digit, while superscript means you want to add a value on upper side of an alphabet or digit, while top is basically on the top of the text, how you are aligning the text on the top of a web page, and similarly for middle of the web page and bottom of the web page. Now some other properties of the text, that is text decoration. Text decoration basically specifies that either the text should be underlined, or the text should be over the line, or the text should be line through, और the text should be blinking. So आपका टेक्स्ट एक लाइन के ऊपर आए, लाइन के नीचे आए, या टेक्स्ट के ऊपर लाइन आए, या टेक्स्ट जो है वो ब्लिंक कर रहा हो, ये टेक्स्ट की डेकोरेशन होती है. So we can select one option for a text, और टेक्स्ट डेकोरेशन हम पर्टिकुलर अल्फाबेट, पर्टिकुलर लेटर, पर्टिकुलर लाइन, पर्टिकुलर पैराग्राफ पे भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. And the next property for the text is text transformation. Here the text should be appeared either in lowercase, or either uppercase, or all capital. तो या तो सारे अल्फाबेट्स आपके स्मॉल लिखे हों, या आपके अल्फाबेट्स कैपिटल लिखे हों. So this is we need to discuss in text transformation. And then letter spacing, which defines the spacing between the letters, and h1 web form element is given, and then property of letter is given with 3 pixels, that is the value for particular property of h1. So these are the 6 major properties for the text, that is color, text alignment, horizontal alignment, and text vertical alignment, and then text decoration, and then text transformation, and then line spacing, letter spacing. And the last property for the text is commonly used for word spacing. It specifies the space between words. For example, word spacing is given 4 pixels. So between each word there are 0.4 pixel spacing is created. Now let's see an example for text properties. The first one is that it is basically a CSS file. The name of the file is MileStyle, extension is .css. H1 heading is given with font family mentioned Arial, and font size is 36 pixel. This is the basic property of the text. Then h1.title, this is the class declaration. The color is mentioned orange. Then the text is transformed in uppercase, and the text is aligned then centered, and the letter space is 5 pixel. So these are the class properties for h1 heading. Then the second class, that is the body text, that is mentioned. So h2.body text is referred, and the properties are color property, the value is purple, that is assigned, and then text transform, that is small or capital, capitalize is mentioned, and then text decoration, that is given underline. So all the text in paragraph body text h1 will be purple with capital and underline, and all the text that is in the title of h1 will be orange, uppercase, center with 5 pixel, and all the basic properties of h1, this is inheritance of applied, is Arial, that will be the font style, and 36 pixel. So now see the example, that is the CSS file we have created. Now we will use that CSS file in our HTML file. So HTML head is started, and then title, text properties, title tag is ended, and now we are linking with that particular style sheet, mystyle.css. So type equals to text/css, and relationship type is style sheet. So head tag is ended, body tag is start. So h1 equals to class title, this is the title class, and the heading will appear as ComSets Institute of Information Technology. Then HR size 5, HR is basically used to create line, horizontal line, size is 5, and the color is light blue. Again h1 heading is given, class is second class, that is body text, and the text will appear as introduction. So we need to understand different classes and their relevant font styles and properties applied accordingly. Now see what is the output of that. For the first one, that is ComSets Institute of Information Technology, the heading 1 is applied accordingly with relevant styling, and then HR line break, its relevant font properties are also given, and then introduction heading is mentioned, which have also applied with all the relevant CSS styling properties. Now styling and links. How to style the links? Color. Color is again that attribute that can be used for styling the links as well. And color basically adds an extra dimension to the link category. So link can be shown in different status with the help of color. The first one is background color. It highlights the link as if it had been highlighted with the highlighter pen. So background color अगर आप चेंज करना चाह रहे हैं, सो आप बैकग्राउंड कलर की प्रॉपर्टी यूज करेंगे और ये लिंक को हाईलाइट कर देगा जैसे आप एक पेन के साथ हाईलाइट करते हैं. देन टेक्स्ट डेकोरेशन. टेक्स्ट डेकोरेशन वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड. अंडरलाइन है या आपके पास स्ट्राइक थ्रू है, एक टेक्स्ट के ऊपर कटिंग हो रही है ऊपर, या लाइन के ऊपर है टेक्स्ट या ब्लिंक कर रहा है. These are the text decoration property which can also be applied on styling a link. Then some major classes, pseudo classes for links, hyperlinks. Style for links in general. So link is basically a general styling. Visited link which are already visited by the user, they are of second category of the link class. Hover means where some user will move their mouse on it or will select it. And then active link, the link which is clicked at the movement, at the current scenario. So these are the four categories of the link. That is, default styles for the link is in general link. The visited link is in the visited category. That is hovered by the mouse usually is hover category, and the width that is being seen at the moment is in active category. So now see how to style the links. Font, it is basically a font family first mentioned, and it is basically an external CSS. The name of the file is mystyle.css. First of all, starting tag is mentioned, and then its property font family, that is Calvary, the font size, that is 16 pixel, and then text decoration. You don't want to apply any text decoration, that's why you have written none. Then again for a link, you want the link to be red, so color is mentioned red. And then a visited link, you want to change the color of the visiting link, so you have mentioned the color yellow for the visited link. And then hover for that particular mouse action. Here you have mentioned the background color gray and text decoration as underline. So if you see, the first one is the text style, the second one is the link setting, the third one is the visited link setting, and the next and the last is the hover setting for the link. So how it will appear in the code and how we will use. Now we have opened our HTML web page code view, and we have seen the reference. The first reference of is text.html, and it is basically a link that is added, and then relevant copyright information is given accordingly. Similarly for the campuses, departments, admission and contact us, these are different pages that are linked accordingly, and they will be used different styling as per link category. So see styling background. So background color specifies the background color, PG color for that particular background. The background image will add an image in the background of the web page or particular web form element. The background repeat specifies whether the image should appear again and again or not, and the background position mention where the image should be positioned in a particular background for a web page or web form element. So now see the styling for the background. So this is a CSS file, and in the body tag we have mentioned these background settings should be applied. So background color is mentioned pink, and then background image is mentioned with particular reference, that is URL, and it is from the local directory, so comset.jpg is considered. And then do you want to repeat the background? No repeat means it will not appear again and again. And then the background position, that is bottom, the link should appear in the bottom of the web page mentioned. Now see what is the output of that. See, your background appears in the bottom with Comset's image, and the background color is pink, that is mentioned. And what is over here? Home, campus, department, admission, contact us. These are basically link statuses. So now styling with tables. We can also add styling in tables. What are the properties for styling the tables? Text import properties, vertical alignment of the table, width of the table, height of the table, the background color for the table, and the background image for the table. These are the most common styling properties for a table. Border. The border is basically in the table the property that adds the border. So you can mention the border style as either solid, you want to mention a complete line outside the table, or you want to mention a line with spacing, that is dashed line outside the border, or you want to mention a dotted line with the border, or you want to mention the table with a double line. So this you have to mention in the border style. This is the first property for the border. The second is border color, where you can mention the color of the border that you want to give. And third, you want to mention the border bottom. Either you want to mention it in the solid form, again dashed with spacing, dotted form, or double. The next property for styling the table is padding. Either you want to pad left, or you want to pad right, or you want to pad top, or you want to pad bottom. Padding is basically creating the table at a specific position. So आप टेबल को लेफ्ट रखना चाह रहे हैं, राइट करना चाह रहे हैं, टॉप करना चाह रहे हैं या बॉटम करना चाह रहे हैं. This we will need to know in padding. Now let's see the code for styling the table. हमारे पास style.css की फाइल एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. टेबल का हमारे पास सेलेक्टर है, वेब फॉर्म एलिमेंट है. हमने उसके अंदर बॉर्डर स्टाइल डैश्ड कर दिया कि बॉर्डर का जो आउटर बाउंड्री है वो डैश फॉर्म में हो, बॉर्डर की बॉर्डर जो है वो 3 पिक्सल बॉर्डरनेस हो, और विड्थ जो बॉर्डर की है वो 300 पिक्सल हो. देन हेडर, टेबल का हेडर, और हेडर के अंदर जो फॉन्ट फैमिली हो दैट इज कैलबरी, एंड बैकग्राउंड कलर जो फॉन्ट हेडिंग के अंदर आएगा टेबल की दैट शुड बी ग्रे. देन द डेटा, जो डेटा आएगा टेबल का उसका जो बैकग्राउंड कलर है दैट शुड बी लाइट ब्लू, और ये डेटा उस पर्टिकुलर सेल के अंदर टॉप पे अलाइन होना चाहिए. एंड देन द नेक्स्ट रो इज क्रिएटेड, एंड द रो हाइट इज गिवन 50 पिक्सल. सो सी द प्रॉपर्टी आउटपुट फॉर द टेबल. सो हमारे पास डैश्ड फॉर्म में टेबल का बॉर्डर आ गया, और टेबल का हेडर का बैकग्राउंड हमारे पास आ गया, और उसके साथ साथ हमारे पास टेबल की रो आ गई. सो हमने रेलिवेंट प्रॉपर्टीज को अप्लाई कर दिया अकॉर्डिंगली. नाउ लेट्स सी द समरी ऑफ today's lecture. In today's lecture we have discussed the font properties. First of all, we have seen font family. We have seen there are some common families which are basically serif, sans serif, fantasy, and so else. And then every font style belongs to a specific font family, and you can also customize your own font family. Then the font size is mentioned. Usually font size is given in pixels, but the font size can also be mentioned in terms of small, large, medium. And then we have discussed font weight, in which we have learned about the boldness of the font. And for the font boldness, we have seen that font can be bolded by specific numeric value. Then we have seen different font styles, and default font style for the web browser are Times New Roman with font size 12 pixel. And then we have seen what is font variation, that is basically capitalizing the font or making it small. Then we have seen the text with CSS and its attributes. So we have seen spacing between the word spacing, then line spacing between the alphabets, and then letters, and then a height of the row and spacing. Then we have seen the horizontal alignment of the text and the vertical alignment of the text as per left, right, or center, bottom accordingly. And then we have seen indenting. And then we have seen text decoration, that is to underline the text, or strike through, or blinking, and then text transformation in the end. Then we have seen that we can style the links as well, and we can style the background as well. For background, we can change the background color, background image, and it can be repeated as well, and the position of the background that has to be appeared. And in the end, we have seen styling with tables, the text and font for the table, the vertical alignment of the table, the width of the table, the height of the table, the background color for the table or the cell or the row, and similarly the background image for the table. This is all about for today's lecture. Thank you for today's lecture.